Hello everyone and welcome back to the fourth episode of F1 Manager 22. We have our first regulation vote for minor technical regulation changes, either on the chassis or on the side ports, with either 10 or 30% decrease in airflow, either on the chassis or on the side port. We're going to vote for the chassis focus change and wait for the other teams for them to get their votes in so that we can see what will be the directive for our first research project for next year. Then we have that one development point for Albon. What we're going to do is we're going to assign that to cornering. That'll help him to prevent lockups and running wide. So I think that's a good stat to upgrade. We're going to do some scouting on Alonso, see if he maybe wants to join the team in the future. We've got our race simulator that's been updated, so that'll give us some experience increase from 20 to 40% for the week. The votes are in, so just according to this on the research, we will then receive an experience boost that will help us in the future. Currently we have no slots available to start this research, so we'll need to wait for the designs to be complete, then we can assign some engineers to start off this research for us for next year. There's only a couple of teams that voted against the chassis focus, so only 4 teams went with the side ports, the other 6 teams went for the chassis. Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari and Haas went with the side ports. Then we're going to have a quick look at Imola with the sections by speed. Only 2 corners, or 3 corners for that matter, that we might struggle with. One in Sector 2 and one in Sector 3 start. So we'll have a look at how our car performs on this.
The hills of Tuscany are green to the south, but here in Imola the air is red hot. Welcome to Ferrari's turf for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. The track has been around since the 60s, but the first official Formula One race was held here in 1980. Let's see what excitement lies ahead this year. This is Imola, and it's an old school track with plenty of elevation changes and lots of corners. There's only one DRS zone here, but it follows the long straight right before Tamburello, and should see plenty of action. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. The weekend begins here.
Clear weekend ahead, so no rain expected.
I made a mistake.
Let's see what happened there.
Latifi
Now let's
making a
look.
big
We're
mistake
watching
here
Nicholas
in practice
Latifi.
3, damaging the front wing after he locked up.
And that's an off, and a big off. The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
Was my bad.
Car is safe, car is safe. Are you okay, Nikki?
Yeah, what the car start?
Calling Latifi back in, see if we can replace that front wing, see if there's some more time for us to actually do this in this session and get out. Some minor damage on the underfloor as well. Also going to swap in a new gearbox for him, and this is going to push us over the time limit for this session with 38 minutes to do those changes. So Latifi out. At the end of practice 3, our guys are about 2.3, 2.6 seconds off the pace on mediums, so let's see what they can do in Qually. We managed to get Latifi's setup confidence to 93, track acclimatization only to 74. We couldn't get that last run in for Albon, So the car setup at this stage will only be untested with the highest previous one of 81. So let's see what Albon can do around this track. Starting both cars only on one flyer. Let's try with this Qually, see if we can get better track position.
Radio check.
All up that much.
Yeah, radio check loud and clear.
That's green now. Green now.
Leaving some space between the guys with Albon ahead. We're gonna take manual control just to make sure that everything is on deploy push and see what we can do with this lap. So Albon starting his lap now. Let's hope he doesn't get traffic on his way. I see there is a Aston Martin ahead of us. Let's see if we can pass and actually get a lap in. Left Latifi on auto just to gauge. And backing off for some traffic, so we're gonna call Albon in. No use in pushing for the rest of this lap.
You can afford to drop back.
Still on a runner on automatic.
Yeah.
So lift and coast level 3.
Yep, okay.
Just on board with Latifi. Let's see if the AlphaTauri is in his way as well. Coming up to this last chicane, slow speed corner, so that's one of the areas where we still need to improve our car for this season, but it seems as though he kept his pace to do that. Little lift there with the AlphaTauri ahead, but we might get some slipstream here, going on the inside and finishing the lap with Latifi. That puts him on 118. Albon on his next flyer, only 7 minutes remaining in this session. Just hanging on to Latifi, just get some track space, and then we'll send Latifi out. Yellow in sector 1 for Albon. Albon puts in a lap about 2 tenths ahead of Vettel and 3 tenths ahead of Latifi at this stage. So Albon definitely has more pace. Latifi struggling quite a bit. Both guys in the knockout at this moment. It's only Gasly that I think can put in a much better lap. So at this moment it looks like both guys will be knocked out in Q1. Latifi just started his flyer. And running wide there just before the end of sector 1.
Look at that! They've run wide!
Albon on another push lap. See if we're able to improve. We need about 4 tenths, so it's quite a tall order. sector 1 for Albon. Let's see where sector 2 comes up. Green in sector 2 as well. Around the last chicane. Only 2 more double left-hander. And all the way to the line. Let's see if Albon can improve. Only slightly, nothing much. So both knocked out in Q1, starting 19 and 20. So Albon slightly better than Latifi. Quite far off the pace here for us. Concern is Aston is ahead of us with almost a tenth of Albon and 3 tenths to
Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
Williams had a good performance in qualifying. Now they'll be eager to demonstrate that they can have an even better race. Aston Martin did a good job during qualifying, and they're pretty much where everyone expected them to be on the grid. Now it's up to them to defy expectations during the race itself. The weather is very overcast here, and teams are staring at the sky watching for the first sign of rain. Strategies might have to be quite flexible going into today's race.
Meanwhile, in the grandstands, the red wave is swelling. So let's find out who wins the day here at Imola.
So Albon gonna go medium hard, and Latifi gonna go out soft. So much longer stint for Latifi. So let's see if we're able to do that.
The drivers have now taken position on the grid, and it's looking like a cloudy day. Here we have Alexander Albon. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. And looking at the second Williams car. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. And we're just moments away now. The crowd are on their feet in anticipation of this, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Both guys on overtake push. See if we can make up a position or 2 at the start. To the inside of Vettel, so Albon makes a
Good job,
position.
good job.
Vettel's still there, and then he backs out. Really something we need to look at for Albon. Need to get that fight and that confidence to stay side by side.
Looks
and
like
actually
Aston
take the
Martin
position.
have just gained a race position.
So after first sector, both guys still behind, still the back of the grid, 19 and 20. But we're trying to size up Stroll and Vettel, see if we can make a position or 2. Aston's still our biggest rival, still need to end ahead of them. So a lot of work to do. Aston making up quite some time in that slow corner. So we need to keep that in mind with development of our car, that we can get our slow speed cornering and the slow speed cornering. We need to pay attention to that, and we need to develop parts to actually move us ahead in that area. Start of lap 2, having a look on the inside. Stroll moves ever so slightly, so I think Albon's going to back out again. Back in file, backed out. So getting the guys off overtake. Just conserving DRS for the time being. this moment the team is still
Let's
still
reduce
back.
lifting coast by 1 level.
Copy.
You can afford to drop back.
Okay.
I think the moment DRS opens, Albon might be able to pull a move on one of the Astons, but a couple of laps then will do. Again, then taking the lead and extending that gap the moment that we go through that slow corner there, that chicane. Already a buffer build up there
Use DRS.
between Vettel and Sonoda. So the fight for last place is on.
Let's close this gap.
Yes.
Just use the overtake.
Copy.
Just getting guys on overtake just to see if we can decrease this gap, so that the moment that we've got DRS, so that we can try and make a move on them. Stroll going to on defensive. Everyone back in file. And Albon with a big dive in the inside. Overtake Stroll.
Okay, we can use the
Close
overtake.
the gap to Vettel.
Copy.
Up the hill.
Okay,
Double
that's
left-hander.
good. That's good.
And a
Just
new
gonna go
position,
on
just
balance for now.
gained by
We're
Williams.
sticking it out, waiting for the
Okay.
DRS to open. Then we might have the overspeed to actually overtake him on lap 3.
You have the overtake.
Going for the overtake.
Okay, copy.
See if we can increase it. And there's a yellow in sector 3 with the safety car out. Bring the guys back
Okay,
to
it's a
the
safety
surf.
car.
We're not going to go in for the pit.
DRS is currently disabled.
Too early.
DRS is currently disabled.
Just making sure we harvest and save fuel and tyres.
I think there's been a lock-up. Let's have a look. Let's take another look. There we have Joe.
Here downhill.
Well, they've locked up. They won't have been happy about that.
Should have been quite a
That's
quite
going to be a
aggressive if the
big
safety
blow
car
to the
was
team.
deployed.
Will they be able to recover? We'll see.
Quite nice graphics for the safety car. So the guy stacking behind him. Good. I actually like this concept. So just the update. Laps to pace, to pace with that one. Because likes the constructors. Stack with Ferrari taking up to this map.
Safety car in this lap.
Yep,
Right,
copy.
we're gonna go full race again. So just getting the guys
We could
ready.
do with a bit more pace now if you've got it.
Push on fuel and overtake as well. So
Yep,
we're
copy.
able to maybe gain a position and restart.
Reduce the lift and core.
Copy.
So the safety car of course helps
use the overtake.
with our tire strat. Just giving
Okay.
us a little bit more breathing room and trying to extend that first stint maybe.
No overtaking until the control line.
Okay.
And here we go. To the inside of Vettel. Let's see if he can hold it in. Keep his foot in for turn 1. But he backed out and Vettel is ahead again.
Increase lift and coast.
Okay, copy.
Go on to lap 11. Still stuck to Vettel. See if we are able to push a bit and overtaking with the DRS zone ahead. DRS open. On the inside, easy move, done and dusted.
Nice work.
Next up, Tsunoda's almost 4 seconds ahead. So on to lap 15, Stroll overtook Vettel and is now 1.5 behind us. So we need to see if we are able to keep this gap and to make sure that they're not in DRS range of us to close it. Latifi falling way back, 4.5 seconds behind Vettel. So more than 6 seconds behind Tsunoda. Quite similar lap times from our last 4 at this moment.
So what?
DRS.
Copy.
He drained his battery over there, just to try and close that gap. Now just below the 4 seconds, so on the point managed to catch
And
them
that's
up a
the
little bit.
lockup!
Vettel locked up there. Magnussen and Norris diving into the pits for their first stop, with Stroll as well. So it seems that the soft runners, lap 16, diving in. Just over 5 seconds gap that we built now to Vettel after that spin. So we need to try and keep this gap and build from here. Onto lap 20, Latifi doing a 22. The guys behind a bit faster, Norris, Ricciardo and Magnussen. Onto lap 24, the McLaren scored up to us and is now in DRS. So we're just going to try and hold these guys back a little bit. Both went for early stop. So just trying to hold them back a little bit and see if we can gain a position in the long run. On to lap 27, Albon is looking at the back of Alonso.
And
So must say,
we
I'm
think you can
quite
reduce
confident
lift and
that,
coast.
Yes.
Albon managing to stick with Alonso for time being.
Increase lift and coast.
Yes, okay.
Albon diving into the pits for his first stop. First and only stop from close to hard. So Latifi will overtake him here, and the rest of the field as well. And then McLaren makes his move on Latifi with DRS enabled, of course. 2.7 stop for Albon, not too bad. But let's see we
I don't know what happened.
McLaren gain a position!
Albon managed to exit the pit from in front of Stroll. So now we just need to
Okay,
to
reduce
build
lift
from
and
them.
coast.
Stroll and Vettel
Yep, copy.
quite far behind. Vettel 10 seconds behind, Stroll 5 seconds behind. So we must just make sure that we don't lose touch on this. Onto lap 29, just to see respective lap time. We're doing 21.5. Ricciardo doing a 21.3. So we're almost matching the McLaren speed at this moment. So that could be very good for us.
You can afford to drop back.
Okay, copy.
Albon being lapped there, just giving us DRS access. Just try to pull us along.
Go push.
Copy.
check the DRS.
Using quite
Copy.
a few DRS just to stay within that gap to get the DRS. So now we need to harvest and build that again.
Okay, we want to increase lifting.
With that dough that we got, Albon managed to close up to Latifi. So we need to make sure that the guys overtake each other, but yeah, moving chicane. On to lap 40 now. Norris and Magnussen in for the second pit stop. Norris enters just ahead of us. So with us matching our speed previously, this might be a chance for Albon to actually make a move on the McLaren. Previous laps were basically identical, and we're almost pulling half a second to Latifi per lap. Albon about 14 slower than the McLaren at this moment, so let's hope that with the DRS we're able to keep that within range and actually use Norris ahead of us to build the gap. Albon on Norris, so it's looking good. No DRS for Latifi, so he just fell just out of that DRS zone. Albon actually looking to the inside of the McLaren, so this is good news. If we're able to with DRS manage to stick to that, we should be able to build. Onto lap 45 now.
The grip is just very, very poor on the edge of overs here.
To struggle on those tires. So we're gonna call him in for the softs. So I think time to pit this Latifi.
Copy. Guys, these oscillations are killing me.
Norris
Anything we
actually
could do?
the inside. And Latifi being lapped on the home straight.
Leave core increase, please.
Copy.
So following our strat, going from hard to soft for this last stint.
We want to leave core, please.
Copy.
Getting lapped now by Sainz. So we're gonna do the exact same, see if we can get a tow from him and actually move through the field. And with him lapping Norris, we actually get a gap and move along. Let's see if we can use this tow from Sainz to actually extend the gap to Norris. Then we'll be able to keep
And
up
go
that
push.
pace,
Yes.
but let's try.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now watch this. Here's the moments involving Albon.
Albon being very opportunistic there. The moment that was away.
And there they go, moving up a position. Just incredible manoeuvring.
On to lap 49 now. Still ahead of Norris,
Yeah.
but we got lapped by
Deployed.
the Red Bull as well.
Copy.
But Albon currently in a legitimate 13th place, so not too worried about his performance with the car at this moment. But yeah, still have a lot of work to do. Norris barely getting DRS over there. We've got it from the Red Bull ahead, so that's actually helping us to stay ahead. On to lap 51 now. Norris doing an 18.9, we're doing a 19.0, so 1/10 faster than us, so we're keeping up well with the pace.
Take a look now. Now just take a look at the McLaren.
Norris making his move around turn 1
And they
Albon
get
trying
past,
to keep it
which
in,
moves them up a position.
but doesn't work.
And that was a bitter blow for the team. And it may have really hurt their overall chances.
Albon on hards doing basically the same lap times as Latifi on softs. So again, quite worrying. Just outside of the DRS zone here. Getting lapped again, we don't have DRS.
Yeah.
So let's hope
Deploy.
with the takeover of Norris or Ricardo, they are able to get back in that position.
Currently 15.
Let's take a closer look. Now look at this. Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
For the lap car, he's got DRS actually. Same that we did with Norris, he did with us.
Moving up a place there. Excellent work from them.
On to lap 16 now. We are currently in P15. There's a yellow in sector 3.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
Magnussen behind us actually had a lockup. We're using Ricardo now as the horse carriage. So we built a almost 34 second lead to Vettel behind and a 40 second lead to Latifi.
Is that a lock-up?
So this tells me
Let's
that
see what
DRS
happened there.
is a massive
Now we
tool that
see the
need to
Williams
use.
here.
And then Latifi
That
looking
lock-up could have
up
cost them
at that
dearly.
last chicane. Going lawn simulator.
The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
So just to get back the DRS gives us massive benefits. Onto the last lap here. Leclerc still leading.
I don't have the
2.5
grip.
seconds. Latifi used up all of his tyres with that lockup. It didn't
Copy.
help at all.
Guys, these oscillations are killing me. Anything we could do?
Leclerc taking the win from Sainz and then Verstappen. So double podium for Ferrari.
That's
And
Leclerc.
Verstappen then
Charles
1.5
Leclerc is
seconds behind
today's
Sainz.
winner. Here's the replay. Charles Leclerc there, taking home the win.
Well, it was never certain, but if anything, that must make the victory taste even sweeter.
Check the DRS.
Yep, copy.
And across the line in B15. So the biggest thing that I've learned from the Imola race is the benefits of DRS. So we will be using that going forward.
What a pleasure it was to watch Alex Albon on the track. And an amazing result to match. A very impressive showing today for Williams.
I agree, this was all very impressive, and it's obviously the work of a solid, well-run team.
Now that all the points have been tallied, the team is in 10th place in the constructor standings.
Coming up next, the teams will be taking a trip to the Sunshine State. The Hard Rock Stadium is laying down the track for a captivating race at the Miami Grand Prix.
So overall, Sainz took the fastest lap, Leclerc took the win from Verstappen. Top 10 finished Perez, Hamilton, Russell, Bottas, Alonso, Gasly and Ocon. That's the top 10. Albon managed to gain 4 positions, moving up to 15th with a 19.0, the fastest lap. Latifi 2 positions up to 18. Overall standings, Max leading with 2 points to Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, Hamilton, Russell, Bottas, Gasly, Alonso and Guan Yu Zhou. Esteban, Ocon making up some positions to Zhou. We're still at the bottom of the table, 0 points on the board. And if we look at the constructors, Ferrari is leading to Red Bull with a couple of points, Mercedes coming in on third. both Haas, Aston Martin and Williams 0 points on the board. McLaren only getting 2. A couple of experience points for the guys. So thank you very much. If you've got any suggestions, please let me know.